Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live, and I'm here with Landon with Prestige Custom Builders, and we're going to do a little bit different show. You know, we always showcase homes that are being built, spec homes, custom homes, but today Landon and I are going to talk about the process in when someone calls and wants to talk to them about building a home, not maybe a guaranteed deal, but at least get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
What steps you take. So I don't have any property down here. I'm looking at property, and I see one of our shows, and I call you and say, hey, we're wanting to build a house on Bolivar.
Yep.
It's going to be our second home. We haven't bought any property yet, but we'd like to talk to you about what you have to offer in some of your homes. Yep. And I'm sure you'll take them through the homes, but where do you go?
So a lot of times, the first thing I'll do if they don't have a lot is I'll tell them, like, look, you need to find a local realtor, someone who's knowledgeable about the peninsula, so that we can find a piece of property that's going to fit what they want. Whether it be a piece of property that I have, a piece of property that's for sale, or maybe a piece of property that like they've been looking at for a while, and like they just kind of want to say, can we get that piece of property? But
and make sure the house will fit on it.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is until you have that piece of property, picked out, you really don't know what you can and cannot build on it. Just because we have, lot lines and different things like that. But I think going with a local realtor, making sure that you have somebody here who understands the peninsula, the water, sewer and septic, just different zoning as far as insurance and stuff goes. That's really important. Once they have that established, then we can kind of get into the plans. Had this conversation with a gentleman yesterday. A Zoom meeting is what we will like to do, either that or in person. Just kind of going through and seeing, what type of house they're looking for. Are they looking for one of our, plans that we already have, or do they want to get something drawn up? And then once we have that kind of figured out, 1 story, 2 story, big deck, small deck, square footage, then we can kind of say, all right, this will be your ballpark budget, get some plans drawn up, then we can narrow it down to really what the actual house budget is. Everybody always calls and they want to know, what's the cost per square foot? What's the $1 million question?
But it changes.
Well, here we've got, you've got houses ranging from 1,200 square foot to 3,500 square foot.
Right.
Well, 3 bedroom, 2 bath in 1,200 square foot and 3 bedroom, 2 bath in 1,700 square foot, you've got 500 more square foot to be able to divide out that price by.
Right.
That changes the cost per square foot. So anybody who can give you a cost per square foot, to me, it's really hard to give that number because you don't know what you're putting in that house.
Right.
And you don't know how big that house is going to be. You can give a generalized number, but I mean, you go $20 a square foot difference over 500 square foot. I mean, we're talking about some money.
Yeah.
And so it's really good to kind of narrow those things down before we get to that conversation about money, because everyone wants to know that, but that is the hardest thing to determine. A 2-story house obviously costs more than a 1-story house. It could be the same square footage, but it's going to cost more. We're going up in the air. We've got more, we got more framing stuff to do. You got more AC stuff to do. You just have different elements. So once we get back to the process of getting that blueprint drawn up, once we do that, we can really sit down and get into the numbers and really get them what they want. Because I like to sit down and list out a thing, give me 5 items that you want to have in this house. Like, these are your 5 items that you must have. And let's make sure that we get all of those integrated into the blueprint, whether it be, a wall oven or a gas cooktop or a tankless water heater or built-in beds or whatever those things are. I want to make sure that I have those in the bid, because if you don't put them in the bid, they're going to cost you something at some point in time,
Right. And it depends on, especially bathrooms.
Oh.
You and I have
100%.
gone through, and you can have your standard shower head, or you can have the flood heads, which they can really drive a price up, whenever you're doing something like that.
Well, and I like to accent those things in spec homes. Some people don't feel like they're necessary, and that's fine. But most adults, they like to take a nice shower. and then you add in the the handheld or the body sprays or the rain head or something like that.
Right.
They may be accustomed to that in their primary home back in wherever that may be. They get to their second home, they want to have the same amenities. And so there's no need in just settling for just a normal shower head if that's not what you want. It's a custom house. You're able to do this and you get to do it one time. Let's do it right.
Right. Once you get everything going, and I know rain's a big factor in the lot and everything. Typically, is it a 6-month process? Is it a 1 year? If someone's ready to go, is it a 6-month process, a 1 year? Does it really depend on what the drawings and
Well,
stuff?
the drawings do dictate, the time frame. But, from the day we drive pilings to the day they kind of start moving furniture in, typically 6 months is a good estimate.
Is it? Okay.
Here recently we've had these winters with these freezes that just kind of set you back for 2 and 3 weeks. We've got the rains that we've been getting down here recently. Hurricanes or anything like that can always set us back. But for the most part, we've been pretty fortunate during the summertime of not getting any of that stuff. Now this year we've been a little bit different, but we're pushing through it, and and you can't control that, and you can't dictate that. So just kind of plan on 6 months and know that it may take a little bit less, it may take a little bit more.
I went by the other day, the custom home you're doing in Blue Waterways,
Yep.
and boy, that thing's really. We were swatting mosquitoes in an empty lot, and now it's framed up, and it doesn't have the covering on it, but it's taken form. And I thought, man, I see what he's talking about, because you talked about that look, and a little different. And it was neat seeing it at that point, because I think I drove by and y'all were doing pilings, and then I didn't get by for a while, and now it's framed out. And so it's taken form. If people, you have a lot of homes that you've already done prints on, you can really tweak those, and you've already done it on some, and change them around, and that might help save some people money, will it?
Yeah, no, I mean, not so much just save you money. I mean, a blueprint, $1,000 plus. I mean, it's not like you're saving a ton of money when it comes to the blueprint aspect of it. But what it does is it allows you to see either A, we can walk in one of those homes, B, we've got pictures of finished products of those homes. And then you have the blueprint that you can already look at. And so truthfully, last night I was sitting down about 9:30 at night, and I was sending out an email to a gentleman that we had the same conversation about yesterday. And then he emailed me back saying he would like to see some of our prints that we've done. And so sent him those prints over, and then just told him, said, pick out one or two. If you want to see what they look like, we have completed photos of those prints, of those plans. So pick out what it is you like. I can show you exactly what it is, and more than likely, I can make a phone call. And most of my customers, I still have a very good contact with, and they would be more than happy to let us run into one of the houses, take a look at it. And if they're not, I've got, like I said, I've got the photos that are finished up, that drone videos that we do that showcase the entire house, and so that makes it really easy for them. And then the good thing about building a house or tweaking an existing plan is if there is any hiccup or change or detail that needed to be adjusted, I would already know that going into it, and so we can make that change very quickly.
And there's so many, custom features you can do, putting the slat board on the wall versus sheetrock. You've started adding some of the fireplaces with the mantle. You can do in the kitchen, you can have the open all the way to the ceiling, or you can have your cabinets built in and tile only part of the way. Wine coolers versus washrooms. And it's really, the sky's the limit whenever it comes to what you really want. But a lot of these homes are dream homes, and so when they go in with, this is going to be the last home I build, this is what I want.
Or it's their second home, and they've already got and know what they like in their primary home, and they want to transfer that same feel back to their second home. Because I know I can speak for myself personally. My wife, she has certain things that she likes in our primary home. So when we built the model home, that's what we did in that home, because that's what she's accustomed to. That's what she likes. And so when we do that, a lot of times the customer will take either what they either have or what they want in their primary home and bring it into their second home as well, which in turn makes the project even better.
Great, great. Well, if people want to look through your stuff, you can scan this QR code right here and get all his contact information. Landon does a great job at keeping his social media up with shows and also homes that they have under construction and finished homes. And so you can go to their website and just get a whole host of information to help you make your decision whenever it comes to building a custom home here on the Upper Texas coast. So Landon, thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with another show with Prestige Custom Builders. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye.